Now, if we take a look back at 2017, December specifically, when Star Wars The Last Jedi debuted in theaters by writer and director Rian Johnson, a lot of fans had big issues with this movie, not just because of how Luke Skywalker was treated in the film, but the overall structure of the film, how Rian Johnson approached a Star Wars movie. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you are new to the channel for future Star Wars content. Now, one thing about The Last Jedi that really a lot of fans had big problems with was, of course, exactly how the character of Luke was treated, how he was used, or how he was handled by Disney and Lucasfilm. I myself have gone over my true feelings about The Last Jedi and how Luke Skywalker was used. I'm sure that you guys have seen my true feelings about The Last Jedi. I did a video on this a little... I guess you could say like about a month or so, maybe less, before the release of The Rise of Skywalker. And everything looking at The Last Jedi, right? We do know that this movie, in and on itself, created a great divide between Star Wars fans. I mean, there's living proof of that on the internet. And of course, if you just go ahead and talk to casual fans, to hardcore fans, I myself, everybody that I know that's either a casual Star Wars fan, a hardcore Star Wars fan, or not even really Star Wars fans at all, everybody that I know did not enjoy The Last Jedi. That's just my experience of the people that I know. I don't know if you guys are the same, but that's how things were for me. Now, as far as Disney and Lucasfilm, now that both Disney and Lucasfilm are finished with The Rise of Skywalker, they are focused on their new Star Wars trilogy of films, and also their new Star Wars universe. It's explained that both Disney and Lucasfilm are focused on developing a better future for Star Wars in order to satisfy the fans and to continue the franchise properly, where it's noted that both Disney and Lucasfilm are very sorry and have deep regrets of destroying the character of Luke Skywalker in The Last Jedi, where it's noted that this was a problem behind the scenes over at Lucasfilm, and that Disney found it harder to actually wrap up the saga after how Luke was perceived by the fans after the release of The Last Jedi by director Rian Johnson. Now, it's said that Disney and Lucasfilm went through a lot of work to make things right for the fans with their new Star Wars universe in an attempt to fix the character of Luke with their new expanded universe. However, Disney realized eventually that the backlash from The Last Jedi was not a minority at all and was a large percentage of the hardcore fan base who creates repeat viewings for these Star Wars films. Now, Disney is said to be very sorry for what they did to Luke and how that alone created the divide between fans, where this was all eventually realized after they witnessed the box office drop with The Rise of Skywalker in comparison to The Last Jedi's, and how it served as a true signal that something was wrong with how fans were looking at the Star Wars franchise, the brand essentially, after Rian Johnson's The Last Jedi. It's explained that since they realized this, Rian's trilogy is now up in the air and that it is actually still has not been 100% greenlit, where it's explained that the backlash also caused Disney to make less revenue on toys and products of Star Wars as a brand, and not just for this year, but also for 2019 and 2018. So, previous Disney CEO before Bob Chapek, once The Last Jedi released and once Solo: A Star Wars Story did not do well because of The Last Jedi, there's no denying that that was the main cause, Bob Iger at the time really kind of just used the excuse of saying that it was Star Wars fatigue and that it was a frequency issue. I'm sure that you guys may very well be aware of that, big excuse back in 2018, right before Solo pretty much was rolling out of theaters, once it was going over to Blu-ray. So in 2018, it was an interesting year. That was really the year where Disney was trying to cover it up, that they did not see the backlash, that there was no backlash, and that it's just a minority, etc., etc. And here we are, The Rise of Skywalker did not make as much as it really should have, being, of course, that it's such an important Star Wars film, being that it's a movie that really added up to 40-plus years of Star Wars material that started back in 1977. The true culmination of the Skywalker saga really should have made more like $2 billion at the box office worldwide speaking, right? So, with that being said, like I say, the fact that they have a lot of regrets of killing off the character of Luke and destroying the character of Luke in The Last Jedi and how he was used, and how they're very sorry about that, not just because of the box office results for the latest Star Wars film, but of course, what it did to the Star Wars community, how it really affected toy sales, and there's no doubt about that. There's a lot of toy sale problems out there with Star Wars. Not a lot of fans are really buying these things anymore because of this big divide. So that's where Bob Chapek comes in, the new Disney CEO. We're getting a new universe. The new Star Wars films are going to be treated differently. The new Star Wars TV shows are going to be approached in a different style. I'm honestly excited to see exactly how Chapek is going to compare to Iger. And with Kathleen Kennedy now out of the picture, not 100%, but not having the ability to pretty much manipulate, creative decisions by the directors and the writers, I think that's a really good path. So, with that being said, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you think about all of this in the comments. And if you guys did enjoy the content for today, do make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.